Welcome to the Startup Grind.
But we'd like to start a little bit by going a bit further back into time to understand where you come from. So, originally, where do you come from?
I was born in Italy. Easy to understand, I think, from my accent. And my mom is from Canada. And I started my business in Italy. And when I was 13 years old, my first business in reality was to sell website. So I was selling website in my town, and my two business partners at that time was the best people I could meet, because I had a big stutter at that time. My business partner had another speech problem. His name was Rinaldo, and he cannot pronounce the letter R. So both of us was like a comedian. And the tech guy who was doing the website actually was more large than tall. So this was our team. And 2 years later, I ran away from home and I went to work in north of Italy. For 6 months, I did a live show production, Broadway style, for a company which was called Art and Show. And in that 6 months, I discovered the passion of my life, which was in reality not only website, but it was the production of content in general. So 6 months later, when I come back in my town, I met these two, my business partner, and I say, let's go to meet in the office, which was the local bar, the local coffee shop. And I say,
this was when you were 15?
Yes, I was 15. And basically, I met this guy, and I say, guy, we don't do now website anymore. Now we produce movie. And Rinaldo, which was a little bit cuckoo, say, oh wow, it's amazing. The other one was older and say, no, it's impossible. In what way we can do that? And basically, I convinced them to do a presentation and write down a story very quick. It was called Il Cavaliere Innamorato. And then we started. Went in our town to the same store where we went to sell website 2 years before. We introduced ourselves now 2 years later as a movie producer. So we start asking door by door to the same store, which they had a website from us, now an investment for a movie. And basically, we started to collect 50 euro, 100 euro. The biggest investor was the dentist, 500 euro. So we we collected 128,000 euro, which was for me at the time a big amount of money. Now for the movie I do, I cannot pay a lawyer with 120,000 euro. But at that time, we did the full movie. And then the contract we have done with all of these investors was in 6 months we will pay you back, but I didn't have any idea in what way I can pay them. But I had the vision. No, in some way I will sell some ticket and I will pay these people back. And basically I became 16 on December 1st, and in January your movie was done. And then I started went cinema by cinema to try to organize the distribution of the movie. And I started going in the first cinema, and the cinema told me, we cannot take your movie because your movie is not in distribution with this company. And they say, because we have a local agent. They say, okay, maybe this guy is an asshole. So I go to the next one. I went to the next cinema, same answer. Same answer. So after, I don't know, 100 of cinema, I went in a small town called Ceprano, which is 35 minutes from Roma. And in this very, very small cinema, I went Saturday night, and I went in this cinema, and this old man at the door say, oh, are you coming to watch a movie? I say, no, I would like to propose if you can take my movie in distribution. And they say, we have an exclusivity with this local agent, same answer, they have a distribution. So I tried before to call this local agent, but they say, go to speak with the distribution. So the distribution, no answer. And when somebody was answering me, I had a big stutter, so I was like, so they say, boom, they turn out. So it was but these men involuntarily gave me the idea which changed my life, because this man told me, I cannot give you the cinema at night, but maybe I can give you the cinema in the morning. So I say in the morning, can I see the theater? So I went in the theater, Saturday night, 4 people was there. So I say, wow, Saturday night, in the morning, who will come? No one. So I say, okay. So I come back in my city, and that night I tried to kill myself in 4 different type of way. Because I say, wow, I'm broke. I had to pay a lot of people back in my town, and I don't know the way to do that. So I tried 4 different ways, but I didn't because I'm here. So basically the day after I wake up with the idea which was the beginning of changing my life. I called my aunt. She was a teacher in a local school, and which actually was the biggest school in my town. And I invited her in the afternoon to say, come to watch my movie. So she came in the afternoon to watch my movie. And I say, what do you think about it? She said, Andrea, I have to say, I can see it's your first movie, but it's actually a good movie, give a good message. I say, yes, perfect. So I say, I did this movie only for one motivation. She say, for what motivation? I say, for this distribution, which is called Cine School Day. And she say, what is Cine School Day? So I say, Cine School Day is a distribution organization who do the distribution of movie only in the morning in the cinema for students. So students come in the morning in the cinema, they pay €5 each, they watch the movie, and then they go speak on the stage why they are there, for what social issue they are there, what they need to speak about. Then they go back in the school, and they have to do homework, and for 30 days homework, then the best student in the school can become something in the movie number 2 produced by this organization. So my aunt say, wow, this is a genius idea, I never heard about it, and no one came to. So I say, they selected my movie, do you want to do in your school? She say, yes, why not? And then she say, so who are you to be in contact with? I say, me. Why you? I say, because I'm the president of this organization. So at night I invented, and in the morning I let me as a president. I say, okay. So we did the first school day in the school of in this school, which in my city was the biggest one. So the mayor of the city came, the bishop, so all of the local personality came to this event. And then from that event, where we did the school number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 10, 20, we did all of my province, then we did all of the other province. And then 6 months later, I spent 120,000 euro to do the movie. We made maybe around 280,000 euro. So I went door by door to pay back all of these investors. And only 6 months later, I realized they didn't want the money back. For them, it was a sponsorship. But in my mind, it was a debt. But I was so proud of all of these 6 months of suffering, because I was shy to walk in the street because I need to cafe 50 euro, because I remember the amount. The dentist 500, they got 100. So for me, all of them was I didn't see the name anymore, but I see the 50 euro behind. Because in the contract I say, give you your money back plus 20%. So it was 50 plus 10, 500 plus 100. So we went to pay back everybody, and then in the end of the school in Italy ended in June, around the end of June. We did the last school in the end of June, and I had the chance for the first time to be interviewed from Rai TV in Italy, which at that time was still today, of course, is a big TV network. But at that time, when you do an interview for Rai, a lot of people have the chance to see you. So through that interview, basically, I had the possibility to be in contact with the Ministry of Education, and the Ministry of Education put my idea in the curriculum of the school in Italy, which is called POF in Italy, Piano di Offerta Formativo. So I didn't know what that meant, but I said, okay, thank you, and I bring all of the reference from the school I've done. So in the summer, this my two partner, I say, so now we need to do the second movie, because we need to put all of these students in your movie, and next year I was thinking we will make at least another 280,000. So we have equity now, and we can do the next step. These two, my business partner, they say, no, we want our money. I say, we don't believe we can achieve the next thing. I say, are you sure about it? They say, okay. But I say, can you become my employee? Because I need your help. They say, okay. So I give them, I devise what we had in 3. So I went to do another time a date with everybody in the town, and they give me the money again. And then in September happened something amazing. So I put it as the front of my company at the time, the front of the store where my father was selling underwear, because I come from a very poor family. So they had this small store where they sell underwear and socks. You see, I have a very unique socks. And I'm joking. So in September we start to receive 200 calls, 500 calls sometimes per day from all of the school in Italy, because when you go in the curriculum of the school, basically they receive a communication and you become one of the extra activity they can do. So actually that idea became a very big business, and the second movie I made over a few million, and then the school started asking me, can you give me another movie for next month? I didn't tell another movie, but they say, do you have another movie? I say, yes, of course. And what movie you have? Oh, hold on 1 second, I need to check. And I went, okay, we have a movie about drugs. So in the end, we started to do a lot of movie about new social issue, drugs and alcohol, and a good message for young people.
How long were the movies? What was it?
Was the first one was 80 minutes. Then the other movie was between 80 to 95 every time. But the cool idea became movie made by student for student with an educational message behind. So we became so big at one point, which I started give money back to the school. So when we was selling a ticket, then we buy for the school paper and this type of stuff. And then when I became 18, I became a big business partner with the father for me in my business. His name was Luciano Martino. He died when I was 25. When we became business partner, I was 18, he was almost 70. So we have a big gap of different, but in his mind he was younger than me, and he gave me the opportunity to do the first movie I have done with Al Pacino, and so in my other business, Ambi, today we have office a little bit everywhere in the world, and we produce between 8 to 12 movies every year, and we are doing now a movie with Johnny Depp in Marrakesh with Johnny Depp have also a deal with us for TaTaTu. We are doing now a movie with Morgan Freeman and John Travolta, and we did movie a little bit with everyone.
When you were 15, were you thinking already of having a studio based in LA and working with Hollywood stars, or did you think you just start doing schools all over Italy and maybe all over Europe?
So the fact which senior school day became so big, I didn't have I didn't expect that, because I was expecting only we make my money back and make some profit. So I didn't really expect that giving me the
When was the jump from the school movies into more maybe mainstream or?
Basically, when I was 18.
Okay.
I started, and when I started to do big movie, of course, I was not attached anymore of the idea to do Cine School Day. So that organization now in Italy became something different, which is called, they do in Italy now, a thing called Agi Scuola, which is totally different. It's just a book where school can go to watch movie in the morning, but our organization was totally different. So in the end, to answer to your question, when I was doing this small movie and I was working in the theater in the morning, I was thinking, no, I don't want to be here in the morning. I would like to be here at night. And I was watching all of this poster for this big movie and say, I will get there. And I did 2 years later. And so in the end, I think everything is a projection in life. Wherever you think, you can really make up and everything. And so we need only to work on things.
Right. And how or what was your introduction to Hollywood? How did you make that connection from your village to Hollywood?
So the step was my village. Then in Rome in Italy is the place where you do actually move in Italy. So Cinecittà is based in Roma, and then I when I was 21, I was doing 8 movies every year already, Italian movie, and at that time I think they was doing maybe 45 movie elect as Italian movie. So I was doing already a lot, and then I decided, I think I have to start watch forward what I can do next, and then I started investing in UK and then in Canada, because I'm also Canadian, so I say it's the most easy way to get to Hollywood, and then Hollywood later on. But in reality, the decision came from the fact where now I look older, but I'm 31 on December 1st, but I know I look 50, but it's okay. So but in these 15 years of experience, I saw our industry change so much. Because at 15, if I didn't invent Cine School Day, I was not able to make my money back, and pay the people, and then do the next one. When I did my first big movie, our income was first the theater, and second was the license to the free TV. And the free TV is based on advertising. So they sell advertising and they can pay your content. So then the free TV start to lose power because the advertising revenue changed, starting from free TV to internet, and today more and more and more and more. So our second client became the pay TV. So and then from a few years now, also this model is different, because now you do movie only for internet, only for SVOD, and pay TV. I remember at that time I was thinking, okay, pay TV is the future. Actually, the pay TV are losing power in each country. They are combining themselves between one country to another to lose power very quickly. Now the SVOD people think is the future. So in the end, in these 15 years, I saw things change so quick, so much, and I was lucky every time, just because I was the new one on the table every time, So because I was still young, so I was very quick to adapt myself, in a new situation. Also because I never studied my business. I'm 2 times doctor, but they gift me that, so I didn't study for that. So I learned from the street, so the point is, for example, the idea of TaTaTu and the blockchain essentially come exactly from the study of my industry in the last 15 years. So I say, what can be the next step? What can happen in the future? So in the future, I see some big companies, some big SVOD company, without saying the name, because also they are my client, they pay me from my other company, but I don't see big future in a SVOD platform, because I see in SVOD the same circle as the pay TV, because in the end it's the same business, no? It's a subscription, but in internet and on in, with cable or with, so I cannot see that one is the real future of our industry. So 2 years ago, I called my mom. I was in LA 2 in the morning. From my mom was 11 a.m. So I called my mom and then I say, "Mom, you have Facebook, no?" I say, "Yes, of course." "Mom, do you have Instagram, no?" "Yes, of course." My mom have everything. Okay? She's all day in this social media. So, okay. And I say, do you think these social media are free? And my mom told me, "Yes, I think they're free. I think they're free." I say, "Why do you think they're free?" "Because I don't pay, I do whatever I want, I chat with people." I say, "Okay." Then the day after, I went in a coffee shop and I see a 50 years old boy, and I asked to him, "Do you have Facebook?" I say, "No, because my father has Facebook, so I don't want to be checked from my father." "So do you have Instagram?" I say, "Yes." They say, "Oh, yeah, I have Instagram, but in reality I'm into Snapchat." I say, "Okay." So, and I say, "Do you think these social media are free?" So these kids, he told me, "No." I say, "Okay, explain me why you think they are not free." And these kids, "Oh, you see, because you click here, you see I see an advertising, and basically they make money with me, and then I post something, and my friends see my post and maybe see some ad around." So he didn't have the knowledge to tell me CPM and the way you sell advertising in internet, so he didn't have that information, but he get to the point. So I say, "Very interesting." I say, "Bravo." I say, "What bravo mean?" "Bravo, you are good." Okay, I say, "Okay." So, and then I start to ask the same question over and over to other young people. So I realize that the majority of the young people knew social media are not free. They knew they are part of the value, so they are bringing value to the platform. So now, based on this information, I realized 2 years ago something was happening there, because when people start to get the point, something will happen. So the mentality will change, And in the same time, I told you the analysis of my industry, what can be next. And so I came up with the idea of TaTaTu. And you want me to tell you what is TaTaTu now?
That was my next question. What
Okay.
is TaTaTu? Were you talking to Johnny Depp earlier on? You were saying like Pirates of the Caribbean or something?
So the TaTaTu is first what TaTaTu means is TaTaTu in US urban language mean things are going well. Tu mean you in Italian language, in Spanish, and in French. So the meaning of TaTaTu is things going well for you. So this is the motivation of TaTaTu. And also because I had to study, so was it easy to...
Repeat again because I didn't get it, sorry.
Non ho capito?
Repeat again because I didn't get it.
What is
Non ho capito.
what does TaTaTu mean? What's the story behind TaTaTu?
Again, TaTaTu again. TaTaTu in US urban language mean things is going well, or things are going well. Tu mean in Italian language, in Spanish and in French, you. So the meaning is things going well for you. You get the point, Luca? Okay. So so what TaTaTu does is imagine a Netflix for free, where you sign up for free. You can watch movie, TV show, sport content, video game, completely free. When you sign up also we give you a wallet, and real time for each second of streaming you earn token, TaTaTu token. And when you invite a friends through the TaTaTu app, through other platforms. For example, you can connect the TaTaTu app with your Facebook, with your WhatsApp, or whatever. When you invite other friends, the app recognizes you invited them. So they are now a TaTaTu user because you invited them. So every time your friends will watch any content, also you earn from them. And in the same time, the content provider also earn real time. So what we do basically, like Facebook, like Instagram, like YouTube, like Google, our revenue 95% come from advertising, and we share the advertising revenue with the user base and the content provider too. So real time, we share the value we are creating in that time, in that specific second, with the people who are creating that value. And when you become a user of an app, again, you are creating value there, because that app is not worth anything if you are not on the advertising point of view, if you are not creating an impression. So you can create impression with yourself and with your friends. And in the same time, of course, you are watching a content, so who produces that content also get a piece of that. So it's the first referral link of revenue. Is no pyramid. So if I invite you, I make money from you. I don't make money from the friends which you invited. So this is basically what is very very easy.
And is it available in Switzerland?
Not yet. Will be next year. I think. I don't remember the roadmap for Switzerland, but I think before June we are out here.
Okay. And does it make sense to sign up already, even though the content's not available, and then we get notified, or wait until?
If you want to sign up, you can sign, but I don't think I think you cannot from here. So maybe you need to fake something to say that in another country, because we are available now in US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, UK. On January 15 in Italy. They told me Italy is a good country, so I don't know Italy. No. So I don't know why it's so early in the roadmap.
From more of a general perspective, not focusing on the product, so many people here are looking into different types of businesses, and you have a multi-sided platform. In other words, you have content that needs to be provided, you have users that need to be onboarded, you have so it's always that chicken and egg. Do you get the users first? Do you get the contents? Do you get the advertisers? How do you see that from a multi-channel, multi-sided marketplace?
Yeah, it's a good point, because in an app like TaTaTu is a user without content doesn't mean anything. Content without user become too expensive. And so when you start put all of these things together, you really need to think forward and say, okay, in what way can make all of these things work in the same time? So Italy, which is the next country where we open. I cannot announce the name of the company, but I did a deal with the biggest Android device producer in Italy, and they have around 13 million devices around Italy. And so I did a deal with them. I did a deal with another, the biggest, I cannot say name, but this name will become available. But if I say anything, they I don't think they will like that. So I did a deal with this other big advertising agency, which 35% of the Italian market. In the same time, we are producing content, and we did the license for 550 movie, and we are producing original content. So basically, the strategy is January 15, when we go out in Italy, we have 30 million phone with our app on top of the phone, with push notification to them, and with new content. So everything in the same time. So this is, for example, is the strategy we are doing in Italy. So this gives us immediately the possibility to say, okay, I spent that maybe $10 million on I don't know, in content. I'll give you just a number, but maybe I have already 30 million user potentially, and if one of these become active and they really come every day, so in year one we can be at, maybe we are not in profit really, but we'll be at zero now. And year two we should grow up. So It's a challenge, any startup without user, without content, without all of these elements, is a challenge. But I think when the idea is a simple idea, because TaTaTu is a very easy to understand and maybe it's difficult to think when I see you are laughing, but you think it's an easy idea to do?
No, I think it's simple in the end, but hard to come up with it and implement it.
Yeah, I agree on that. Yeah.
So how big is your team?
The
Or
team.
TaTaTu?
So the team who are doing the tech side, they are I think change every day because is pieces by pieces, but around 150 on the tech side, and on the executive we are 20.
Okay.
So not a lot.
And I guess from the different businesses that you've had, from film producing, it's always about working with people.
Yeah, fundamental.
And when you are working with people, when you're a young startup, for example, your first company was with your two friends, but
They still work with me.
and that's awesome.
So it's a 15 years. So I have to say one still working with me. The other one no, because he's still in the same town. So he say every time I say, "Do you want to travel?" No, I want to stay. So in a small town, and because he like to do the same things every day. It's too scary to leave the town. So, but the other one is the president of my software company, Luxembourg. So
yeah. And the first person that you had to hire that you didn't know, how was that? So when you're starting up, usually you have your friends or maybe your spouse, and you have this very close knit. But then you start growing, and you have to hire someone that you have no clue who they are.
This is a good question because in reality, in my position, every time I did something which did not exist before. No? So when I became business partner with this man, which was my second father, and for me as a love perspective, when I became his business partner, he was doing movie in film with 75 people on the set as a crew. But I came from an experience of a movie which I was doing with 100,000 euro, where the same guy does 5 things, and me in the first one I was an actor, director, producer, a driver. so I came from the mentality of you can do basically you can make someone do many different things. So when I started to hire people, which was not my friend, so when I was young, in reality I was looking for people who I have a good feeling with. So for me the energy was the most important thing, because I know no one was doing what I was trying to do. Again, when I became with his business partner, I say, okay, no, we don't do movie with 75 people, we do movie with 25 people on the set. They say, but this is illegal. I didn't know that was illegal, then became eventually legal, because we went to the ministry to show with a digital camera, we don't need 7 people around one camera, we need two persons. So we make things legal after, but I understand I need to build a totally new team, and I arrived to his office by doing business, and basically I cannot work with no one there, because everybody have their own way to see. So the answer is every time I have a new person who works with me, and I go for energy. And my assistant, Edwige, which you spoke with, she's my assistant when I was 17 years old. Okay. And she got married with a guy who she met in the second movie she had done with me. They're still together. My CEO in Italy, the lady who does all of my administration stuff in Italy, she started to work for me when I was 18 in my room hotel in the morning at 7 in Milano, when we were shooting a movie. So at 7 in the morning, and she's still with us. And my line producer in Italy, she started when I was 19. And this guy here, I know him from when I was 17. And so I have around me only people who I know for a long time. And every time I start work with someone, I don't think to the end. I say, okay, you're here, you will never leave now. Bye. and then again, when you work with someone, specifically when you do new things, you do so many mistakes. It's normal. So But my approach of mistake is a growing moment opportunity, you know. So something happened, which can be a catastrophe in that specific things. So my approach is okay. We sit down, we speak about that. I say, you know, this cannot happen. You understand? You can just make me lose $1 million with this mistake. I say, okay, it's fine. You also, we go ahead, and then you know, and then it's an opportunity to build together, to grow up together. But when you build that level of relationship with people, you can really do everything. Because, for example, now in so many areas, I don't need to do anything anymore. So they know exactly the way I think, what I do, and the way I will approach any situation. But they know every day I come with a new idea, so they need there to support me to make a progress. But I think team is to build a good team is fundamental. To do so many things in life, you need to be a good father in a company. Never feel you are the boss, but you are only the good father, and everybody who work with you must have power to do things, because if they to ask you every time, you cannot grow. So you need to give power, but of course this comes with trust. No? And I start with the approach is trust 100%. When I meet someone and I start to work with someone, trust 100%. So I will not think for 1 second that person can steal me anything. If they do, by mistake is one thing, but if they do voluntarily, they're out. I don't give one opportunity to come back.
They die, I know that.
So because for me to be honest and be a team is the most important thing. A person which is not honest, one, will never be honest. A person who is honest and do mistake will become a better person. This is my point of view.
That's very interesting, very unique, but obviously it's worked very well for you, so I'm sure we can all learn from that.
Thank you. You know, one of the things, I was 18, no? I became business partner with Luciano, and it was evident this line producer we had in this movie in Africa, because he was in love with Africa. So he asked me the first time, can you come with me in Africa for a month, no, in vacation in the summer? But to me, I'm 18, 1 month without doing anything, I cannot do that. So to me, I'm too much energy. So immediately I invented a movie in Africa. So in this way, we go in Africa during the summer for 3 months, it's okay, and we shoot 3-4 movies there, no? So we had a line producer there, which was evident, he was stealing money from us, evident. So I went to Luciano and I said, you know, Luciano, this guy is stealing at least 10% of our budget. And he told me, Iervolino, because he was calling me by my last name, my middle name. So Iervolino, I said, you need to know, it's better to know someone is stealing you something that you know, and no, don't know, and so he gave me his perspective on that. So to fix a little bit the information I give you before, when you make things happen and not your round of people, but somebody who work with you, they take advantage. Also, we need to put this in our business plan, no? And say, okay, this is a
cost of doing business.
Yeah, this has to be in our business plan. But if it comes from the team which you grow up with, then this cannot happen, no? Because you can ask everything. And when you have trust, you can ask whatever, you will have a good answer. No? So,
if someone has a question, then just raise your hand and we'll also take questions from you guys as well. So, already, Peter, would you? Peter, take the because I'm tied down.
No, it's fine.
Just take it to the back.
Thank you. So I'm not associated with Startup Grind, although I have a red shirt. Thanks a lot. I really like that you built this platform who are a creator in the first place and a fan, and not somebody who just wants to make a business out of it. I think that's really cool. My question is, especially for you coming from a country where My question is, what is the role of the state in all of that, especially you coming from a country where state actors in the past had their hands in the business you're actually working in? And especially when we're talking about not entertainment, but also content which is more important for information, for education. The stuff that appears when you open the Google News app, for example. With the whole transformation of the industry, what do you think could the state do to help content providers, but also just people who want to inform themselves?
This is a good point because when I started, so I have company now a little bit everywhere in all of the continent, and no TaTaTu, but my other group of company. So I learned. Day by day, you have to think about the world as one place only. So you cannot limitate your vision and yourself only because you come from a country. And yes, in Italy I have a company which actually will become public company next year, but it's only one of my almost 100 operations. So in the end, I know Italy is a great opportunity for something, but it's not a solution of everything. So I think based on the business model you have in mind, you should find the perfect state with legally what you want, and you have to go there like you are a local person, and you open a company, you start hiring people, and you start. I think we never have to limit ourselves on that point of view, because then we cannot do business anymore. And I think an idea, if it's an honest idea and legally is okay. In fact, maybe some country does not have the law yet for that. Maybe someone already has. So I don't see any limitation on country and business. Then in the business development, for example, on TaTaTu, I already know in some country, for example, today I was doing a call for Pakistan, for India, some other country, and in India, for example, where we have to open next year, India, they do transaction in crypto is illegal. So I say, so they told me, oh Andrea, but you know that I knew, but I didn't know so many things which I learned today. So in the phone I say, okay, no problem. We can reward people with miles, TaTaTu miles. This is not TaTaTu token. I said, oh, this is a good idea. And then what they can do with these TaTaTu miles? They can spend as so we do the same deal I'm doing around the world for TaTaTu token. I can do for TaTaTu miles, and which are points. So you have a solution in 1 second. So they say, wow, so cool. So now in India we will have a store where you can buy stuff. You can buy whatever with the TaTaTu. So the same company does advertising in TaTaTu. Then we say, okay, do you have 20 TV which you want to sell, or I don't know, whatever they do. And they create a store inside of TaTaTu which they can spend and become another marketing opportunity for them. And for them become a way to earn. Then for example, another problem was in the beginning of the idea of TaTaTu was, okay, but you reward people in crypto, but how many people today in the world does transaction in crypto? Maybe 20 million people, 25 million people. Coinbase have 25 million wallet, so maybe they are 25 and they are the biggest one. So in the end, it's not a lot. So immediately I find another business opportunity behind that. I say, okay, people, they don't get what is the cryptocurrency yet. So in Italy again, because we are opening, so I'll give you an example of something which will happen now. So we did a deal with a local bank, which also will be announced with these other 2 partners, and they provide a debit card to these users, so they can exchange the token in cash through the exchange where we are listed. They go to spend with the debit card. So I think every country, every legislation give a limitation, but one, you adapt your business idea. Second, you go to put your holding where it's perfect for your idea. This is mine.
So what do you see the business model of TaTaTu in the next 5 years? So where do you want to go?
Yeah, so for sure, my vision is to become one of the biggest media platform in the world on content point of view. And second, e-commerce, bank, and all of the collateral service which are necessary to make our business happen. But the main focus is the right definition. Easy definition can be Netflix for free. You get paid when you watch. Maybe so. This is the main attraction.
And how do you see that coming in right now? Because there's Amazon, there's Netflix. I think Disney also is just now launching their own platform as well.
Yeah.
There's
and I think
all
it's
the
great.
big players are moving in that direction, and there's already the well-established players. And,
Yeah.
So it isn't. I mean, you're going up against giants.
Yeah, of course. So, but I agree. But this is a good question. The idea we are doing is unique. So no one is doing this yet.
Right.
So I didn't tell you one other aspect before. So when I started developing the idea of TaTaTu, I find the research where these research say 75% of the people interviewed, they say they are okay to watch content for free with advertising. So free with advertising. 75% say yes, 25% they say no, we want the content without advertising, we prefer to pay. Okay. So I take the same number of people in the same geographic position of these people, and I went to ask the same question where I say, are you okay to watch content for free and get paid when you watch because also you see some ad? 97% of the people say yes. So this means 3% they prefer pay, no? And actually, then I find other research from other company which they are mixed, paid and unpaid, and actually 3% of the customer base prefer to pay. So our research was actually very, very, very accurate. So the point is the business model of the majority of this company are different, and in my view are based on 3% of the people I interview. So I think we are a winner. This is my model. And then we need to be quick, of course, because be quick in this is very important. And I think we are very quick because we have I was able to raise a lot of fund for this startup, so we can do a lot of content, a lot of great things very quick. And Amazon spent $2.5 billion in content every year, but they make people pay. So if we spend 500 million in the next 12 months, I think we can compete.
So a little bit back on the topic of your businesses and the different ventures you've been in, I guess not only in business but also in the film production. Not everyone says yes, and as you know, when you're building a company, when you're looking for clients, for partners, you'll receive a lot of no's. How have you dealt with rejection in your life and in building your business?
I think rejection is beautiful. Because it's so amazing, because you have the chance to improve yourself, and every time I do something, I start asking people, what do you think about? What do you think about? Because I want to hear your opinion. And when too many people tell me perfect, I'm not happy because I say it's not possible. I want somebody, so I think two different ways. On the logic point of view, is amazing because it's a way to improve what you're doing. And door by door, when one door is closed, the second is closed, then you start to understand maybe it's me, maybe it's them. I don't know. And then you start to adapt the business model to create consent, because in the end you cannot be successful if you don't have the approval of people. I cannot be successful. So for us is fundamental the consent in business. You need to get a product, you need to sell. If you don't have the buyer, So I think it's an improvement opportunity. Then on a spiritual level, because I'm a very spiritual person, I believe a no is not the right person for you. So I think no. I think if you are, I believe in energy and spirit, but we are not here to speak about that. But I really think you attract people around you who are perfect for what you're doing and who have the same vision in life. If you ask me what is my vision in life, I don't care about money. I don't care about success. I want to do good things. No, I want to be happy and I want to make people happy, so. And I want people who think in the same way as me. Because if I meet someone who tell me, Andrea, why we don't do this? We take advantage. We still, boom. I want this person out immediately. So I want only good people, no? Because it's so a no on a spiritual level for me means okay, this person is not a good person. But then on the logic point of view, is an improvement, an improvement opportunity. So, but spiritual and logic.
And what's
Okay, now we shall pray.
Yeah, it's important to have that balance in life, and I think it's interesting to hear, as we do every month, we hear from different speakers, different guests, and have had different journeys and what works for different people. And I think that's one of the beautiful things of Startup Grind is being able to get this vast pool of resources and experiences, and so it's really inspiring to hear what works for you. I think what you were saying about giving 100% trust earlier is very uncommon, and I think there's something very key there that everyone can learn from these different ways of approaching business that you have. Yeah, so it's been fascinating.
Thank you. Think how much time you have to lose if you start working with someone you don't trust them. Wow, no, become a disaster. So you become FBA agent, and a CEO of your company. So it's important. Also on the logic, aside of the speed, also on the logic point of view, you should trust. Then you take back if something happened in the beginning.
How did you manage to keep your mind open to adapt your business for the future while having a very well-working business?
This is a good question. Someone asked me, Andrea, because my partner in this company, so the people who invest in this company, the big investment come from people who are already my partner in other company. So I say, but why we are thinking about this when we are going well in the other side? So and I say because we need to think forward, no? And when things is going well, I think it's the moment when you need to take that possibility to improve and think forward, no? Because when something is wrong in what you're doing, then you need to work to fix that and make that a successful thing. But when you are already established a business model which work, and that is okay because we have a team who can run that, and you can only supervise and do a little work now to achieve the same things. Then I think is a good moment to say, okay, let me be focused on the next step. Of course, without lose what you have already, because that is the anchor. No? And so I think this is the mission. And also, in each market you can see the analysis, and you can see the trend, if something is going up or something is going down or something is stable. When it's stable, I think it's the most dangerous things, because when something is stable, maybe can start lose at one point. So also when something is growing, maybe it's growing for sometimes something become a trend and then the trend change. So I think you should be every time open to say, okay, I think this was a genius thing, maybe I need to change that, or maybe I need to do something which can diversify. And I had sorry, this phone. I want to turn off the phone. So this is a good thing which I learned from the mother of my ex-girlfriend. They were very successful family in many years ago in Italy on producing shirt and did all of the things which made the Italian brands as where we are now. Because also all of the manufacturing work. They was very, very, very successful on that. Her mother say, okay, we are so successful in this. Her father say, okay, why we don't start buy other company? We become bigger and bigger in this. He said, no, I start do this or this. And she started to invest, for example, in real estate, okay? But it's just a case. So then, after 10 years, that business totally crashed. And the real estate is the motivation why they are still a successful family. So when something's going well, you should be worried. You say, okay, now this is going well. Let me improve in something different or something which is complementary. In my case, I like to do complementary things. So all of my business are complementary. And so Ambi is complementary to TaTaTu, TaTaTu is complementary to Ambi, and then we have so many other brands, exclusive media, new market, Icon, and cosmetic, but everything is connected. It's a different area of business, but everything is connected. So in my case, I like to do complementary things and improve, because what I do for me is not a job. I love what I do. Every time I wake up and I go to work, for me it's like I'm going to play for somebody soccer or for somebody watch a football team. And I don't know, whatever. For me, it's all of these in one, no? So I really...
So you're 31 and you've already done quite a bit of different things, or complementary things with different things. How do you look at the future? Do you think it will just come, or do you have a vision of what you want to achieve in the next, 60, 70, 80 years?
No, I have a very precise vision, very, very precise. Also in timing and in number and in achievement. Because I think if you don't predict that, if you're not precise on that, then you have to change. But if I will share this with you, you say, this guy is crazy, okay? So I will not share with you. But
I guess the point is that you do have a specific time, a specific goal. A favorite quote of mine is that planning is subject to change, but you still need a plan.
Yeah, okay. Plan is subject to change, to adapt, of course, things in ways of going, but you must have a goal. Yeah? The goal is fundamental, no? Because if you don't see where you want to be, you will never be there. So
we have here. Just a detailed question. How do you see if a content has a kind of value and you pay people to look at it, so it loses its value, no?
No, I think so. The pay to watch content is the future, is a trend, because again, that 50 years old boy, which then started me to open the mind to think what they think, to take a look of what they think. They understand, everybody now understand we create value with our information, with our presence in a platform. And when we become users somewhere, we are giving up, in any case, our information. Now, yes, the GDPR say you're gonna, but in the end, a platform knows almost everything about you based on what you do with that platform. So everybody understands they are giving value. No, they are doing a contribution of value. No, in money, but with free time. So if you think about sharing economy, the sharing economy is a trend. Social impact economy is a trend, and the TaTaTu is basically based on this new vision of we are user, we mean something. My presence in your platform means something. I must take something back. And be just a user is not and use the platform for free is not what is because now the technology, when 11 years ago they invented social media, 12 years ago, was okay, was a new technology, everything was so new. So, but today anybody can open a social media in 2 months. on the technology point of view. You need to discover anything there. So it's the social media algorithm, yes, you can change, you can put artificial intelligence to check, but in the end it is like an about platform. After 11 years, the mentality of people change, so you must take something. And then, again, the rewarding concept is not a thing because you necessarily take that dollars or something in your pocket. No, you do this also for charity, maybe, because in TaTaTu we advise people to donate their token to an organization. Maybe it will not change your life to watch a movie and get some dollar, but someone, because you watch the movie, can eat for you today, which he cannot without. So I think it's a beautiful thing. This is the social impact, in message and try to. So I believe in this because I believe it's the trend that you will see. 2-3 years, many people will start doing. I want to give you another example. When I did my first movie when I was 15, my business partner at that time, my president of my software company now, Benedetto, he told me, Andrea, why we don't do a short? It's easy. I say, what? I will never do a short. I say, short is for. And now I believe in short content. So now I realize, so that I put many big stars to do short content. So all of the stars who work with me for movie, I say, guy, you want to do movie? Yes? Okay, we have to do also short content. So I'm doing a high quality level of short content where maybe we spend $1 million to do 5 minutes for the animation, for example, or for live action we spend less. But very high level quality of content, because I believe the consummation of content in the next 9 years, 10 years will be 95% short. No, and why? Because young people, outside of the trend of, say, Netflix, I watch for 10 hours a TV show, and they stay there all day, which I think is a trend, but is not really the future. I see more young people to watch a 3-minute episode when they go to school in the bus, and then they watch another episode, and then they go to school, they study, maybe they don't like the teacher, they watch another episode, and then they go at home and they watch. So I see more consumption of content in that way, and more in mobile device. And where I understand also the mobile device will be the measure of content in Shenzhen in China, because in Shenzhen in China, 9 years ago, I was in the elevator in the Ritz-Carlton, and I see this guy come inside of the elevator with a phone, watching the elevator, he was still walking. So this guy, I don't know what way he walked, and it doesn't go that, but he was. So I say, wow, this was a young Chinese guy, in Shenzhen. But I understand that it can be. It is now happening to us. We are not 15, we are not 13, but we are already addicted to all of these. I'm addicted, for example, on this. If I have a second, I go to it because I want to see more. So I say, wow, I'm 30, and this happened to me. Think what happened to young people. So again, the fast consummation of content and the short content also, I think, is the future, which is our production style in TaTaTu. We have movie, we produce movie, but also a lot of short content.
Quick one. With content comes responsibility. So how do you keep your content in check? Like, do you align it to values? Because it becomes political at some point. Nowadays, you can do more things with Twitter. Your short content could create, I don't know, a movement. It could be an echo chamber. How do you keep that in check? I mean, Facebook's got a big problem.
Yeah, first we are not UGC, so we are not user-generated content. And we have a section which is UGC, but only for selected people. And so we have a head of a department and a team who decide what we screen in a platform and what we don't. And in the end, the final decision comes from the user base. Because if we see they watch more one type of content than another, then we need to serve what people like. But on the social responsibility, which for me is very important, another section in TaTaTu is called she will kill me, the head of this department, because I don't remember the name now, because we will launch this in February. Social Impact Short Film Festival, something like that. I need to check on the phone. Because we changed it a few times the name already. So this is a competition of short content generated by people who can, through the app, they can upload their content, not directly in the app, but on the back end of the app. Then people select, and they are part of a competition. And for example, this year we start with 6 different causas, in English, sorry. Yes, 6 different topics. This environment, equal gender, and I don't remember. So 6 different ones. And each of these we attach a charity organization who also is part of the selection, and then we give them an award. So everything we do is very deep in social responsibility. So for me, it's very important. And because again, I believe in the power of what we do. They watch content and they learn something. Two years ago, I had the opportunity to buy a movie with my other company, Ambi, which maybe some of you know this movie. I will not say the name because I'm speaking about some business detail now. So they came to me to say, Andrea, $2 million, take this movie. This movie is done. And this movie was about kids who they kill each other. So 2 ladies who they kill their friends to have more followers in social media. I said, wow. If I decide to buy this movie only because I have a buyer who will buy the movie for 3 times and I do a quick deal, I will never do that. Because then I will feel responsible. Somebody will kill someone at school to have more followers, because the movie was a story about a young lady who have a boyfriend. She killed him to be in the news locally to have more followers in social media. So crazy. I will never do that. So no, I think it's important what we do, the selection.
Yeah, I guess especially the more influence you have, the more responsibility you have.
Yeah.
So I think we have time for one more question, maybe 2 at the most.
I will be quick to the answer now. I'm sorry, you speak too much.
Of success, I would like to ask you, what about your biggest failure so far? How did you overcome it, and what did you learn about it?
Every day I wake up, whatever I have, and I have 4 bombs, psychology who come to me. So every day you have problem, no? And this is so normal, no? But I believe in one thing. Every challenge in life, in the end, I really believe is positive. So whatever happened to you it become an improvement, an opportunity of improvement. So because when I was 15, I told you before, it's funny to speak about this now, but when I was not 15, I was 16, because I was already in January, I tried to kill myself 4 times in one night. And then I was too scared to cut me because I don't want to see the plot. And then I was too hot in the bathroom and I went. But it's funny now to think about that. But I already had my psychology, my point so down where you think, wow, I do such a big things just for a challenge. Because my challenge at that time was to pay these X hundred of people in my town. And the day after I wake up with the idea which actually made me to make me buy my first 2-3 houses, my first house, and do whatever I did. So, today, after I really touched that, so it's a good thing because I can tell it's such a stupid thing to touch that level of depression for one night, but I had that for one night. So I think it's so stupid because, again, everything is improvement. A problem become a moment where you can change that and make the things better. And so I think this is it to be the approach, in business, in life, in everything.
Was there a time, like with one of your movies, that was a complete failure? Or
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, this is a good question. So I when I became, this is a very funny story. So I became business partner with Luciano. He put me in a movie with Al Pacino. I was very proud of the movie. In that movie, I have the credit. I didn't do anything in the movie, okay? So I have the credit, but in reality, was everything he did everything. So, but I went in his office and I see a movie which he did 30 years before. So I said, Luciano, wow, I love that movie. I still watch this movie often. So I say, why we don't do a remake of that movie, which also the same actor. Now that actor is 70, but I think he should do a community movie. He told me, no, Iervolino, you're crazy. This movie will never go there. So no, I say, okay, Luciano, can you give me the right? I will finance the movie by myself. So when he saw me, because he's my business partner, I say, okay, we do 50-50. So we spent £1.5 million for that movie. And that movie made in 3, by the way, became a very shitty movie. It was not good at all, okay? But in 3 days did €80 million. In 2 weeks did 15, and then out because now people realize it was not a good movie. but did a lot of money. So you have to think about me, 18, with this old experienced businessman in my industry. First things I choose, bam, we do so much money so quick. And say, okay, now I know everything. Now I say, okay, I'm perfect, so I can do it. So we do second movie. I start fully in love with this movie so much. And I take the best actor for that. The movie costed, because guy, we spent 2 million more. So the opposite of my mentality, because I was feel so, I know I will make another way 10 times. So the movie, we spent €5 million. The movie did €700,000 in the box office. Wow! When the weekend was passed, I see 700. I say, wow. No, I said, this is not possible. I was thinking maybe the website did a mistake. I say, and then I called a company called Cinetel in Italy. I said, well, it's possible. Did you ever? So I say. So for me, that one was such a big bunch on my face, and I was so young. I say, well, okay. So I still have to use I have to be humble. I need to use the same approach. So this is and I was so happy that happened to me, because the mistake I have done was important, but was a small one. It cannot kill me, But I think if I had the same level of arrogance, and I put it in that operation, $500 million, So this is a very good point.
Yeah, it's like he brought out, we're talking a lot about the different successes you had, but that brings back to the reality that it's not always smooth sailing.
Of course.
And to understand how it's worked in your life, it brings a balance, and we can see you as a human.
Yeah, of course.
You're still around for a little bit after?
Yeah.
So if anyone has any more questions, I guess we can talk after that. So that we
I think he had a question, no? Let's do the last one.
Okay, I can ask you after.
Yeah, well.
I was wondering, whenever you're doing something disruptive, it's always going to come with challenges and things, especially when it's revenue distribution to different parties, etc. I remember a story from a couple of years ago. A music group in the US released an album on Spotify that consisted of 10 tracks of about 30 seconds of each of silence, and they told all their fans to listen to this album on repeat during the night while they're sleeping, and they earned royalties from people listening to the album. And I think the band earned about $20,000 before Spotify realised what was going on, took the album down and whatever. I was wondering how do you differentiate between people that are actually genuinely watching the content?
Good question.
And actually just leaving something on play in the background?
This is a good question. So, now, because the platform went out as a test in May 31st, and so we almost catch everyone. Someone did a 10 account with, they think we don't realize that. So it's with technology today, it's easy to catch. It become more easy to catch so many things. So in the end, we have now established 5 audits where people, when they sign up, they pre-approve that. So with this 5-way are already enough. But we know in the end, no, people will take advantage. And until it's reasonable, we will let people do that. We'll see if it's genuine. And because, you know, you have to see also things in a genuine way or not. And but we will catch them all the time. And then, and then when they wake up, boom, they don't have the app anymore in the phone. Why? I cannot have access anymore. They're out. So this is easy now. So it's complicated, but it's a good question.
Yeah. Great. So before we wrap up, there's a short list of questions that we like to ask each person that we have here. Rapid fire questions, and the idea is to answer with the first thing that comes to mind. There's no right or wrong answer. It's just get to know you a little bit better, more than we already do now.
How many seconds I have to answer?
A few.
Okay.
What item do you own that you would never sell?
Nothing. I don't care about stuff. Sorry.
What is your most unusual skill?
My most unusual skill. I'm very normal, so I don't have any unusual stuff.
I know, don't sleep.
No sleep, you say, but because I sleep 4 hours, but it's normal. So 5% of the population can sleep 4 hours. This my daughter told me. 5%. No, my daughter told me. I don't know if it's true.
What's more important, strength, speed, or stamina?
Strength, speed, or stamina? I don't want to sound Trump, but stamina. I think you need to believe in what you do.
Which historical figure do you most admire? Past, present?
Very interesting question. So I do not recognize myself with anyone, and so I only admire people who did very good things. So I cannot say any name, but only people who left the world without nothing as a material stuff, but with a big impact in the society.
Mm-hmm. When was the last time that you tried something new?
Now I'm here.
And what is your favorite season of the year?
My favorite season of the year. You know, I don't really feel season because I travel so much, so I'm in all of the season all the time.
Do you prefer the warm weather or the fresh weather?
Warm is better, yes.
So team or single founder?
Team. Anytime, team, of course.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs, because but cats also are very nice. But some cats are not really nice. So, I tell you a story. When I was young, I did this cat tattoo. So this was every time was scratching me. One time I take the cat from the back and said, whoa, boom, and I left the cat somewhere. I didn't kill him, of course. No? But because it was such bad with me. So I don't have a good relationship with cat, but I was 8 years old. And then?
Beer or wine?
Beer or wine? Wine, of course. Wine.
And your favorite app?
My favorite TaTaTu.
Your second favorite app?
Second favorite app? I like Instagram. I think it's a good app for news, for everything. So I like it.
And what's something on your bucket list?
On social, but because on culture I have many other, but let's speak about.
And what's something on your bucket list?
Something?
On your bucket list, something you want to do that you haven't done, something special, something big. Like deep sea diving with the whales or bungee jumping.
No, not all of this stuff. I would like also only to make people stronger. So this is maybe I didn't this yet. So I would like to have the chance to make people believe in themselves, but non-experience of this is my.
Okay, that's great.
Maybe I'm not the right answer, but.
No, like I said, there are no. It's what you feel.
I would like to jump on a parachute because I didn't yet.
There you
This I would like to
There's
do. I will,
something for your bucket list.
yeah. My investor will not be happy. They say I will not tell them, but I tell after. No, the video.
So do we wait before we post the video after you do the
Iervolino crash in the floor.
If you could have the attribute of an animal, what would you choose?
If
you could have the attribute, if you could be an animal, if you could have the attribute of an animal.
you know, just the lion because he's the king of the of the jungle, but a good lion.
Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight and for everything that you shared with us, and really appreciate you being here and taking the time. And thank you all for coming as well. We still have a little bit of time to network and to talk, and yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea.
Thank you.